Hi there all my crafty friends, I'm Donna from Mason Creations Etc. and welcome to my channel. Did you know that the way you decorate your Christmas tree can transform your entire holiday experience? In this video, you'll discover unique ornament hacks that will enhance the beauty of your Christmas tree. My crafty friend Cindy Kay asked me to make a Christmas ornament with clay angels. Here you go, Cindy. This video is for you. So if you're ready, let's make a mess. I found this really cool bauble that's made of very thick cardboard at Hobby Lobby. I thought it was such an interesting shape, so I grabbed two of them. So you know another project is forthcoming. I put some tape on the hanger so I wouldn't get paint on it. Now I'm going to paint the entire thing a white base, and I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Cotton, which is white. This and all the products you're going to see me use today came from decoupagenapkins.com, my wonderful sponsors. This green and black rice paper is just beautiful. It looks like distressed vintage wallpaper. This ornament has 6 sides, and I'll be putting the rice paper on every other one, a total of 3 sides. I measured how much I would need for each one and measured out 3 strips. I'm using Polyvine's Decorators varnish as my decoupage adhesive today. You can use this product as a varnish and an adhesive. All the Polyvine formulas can double as a decoupage adhesive. It works so much better than the most popular brand of decoupage glue. It's not a glue, so it doesn't go on thick and lumpy. It's a varnish, so it dries crystal clear and will never yellow. I painted it on, laid the rice paper on top, and then painted another coat on top to smooth out the paper. I cut away some of the excess that was hanging over because it was getting in my way when adding the next piece. I'll let this dry for a couple of hours before moving on. I'm going to remove all of the excess paper hanging over the edges. I had to use scissors to remove the excess paper at the top and bottom of the bauble because the sections were too close together. Now I'm sanding off all the excess paper on the sides of each section. The sandpaper shears it off perfectly on the very edge. I'm sanding in a downward motion. If you sand upward, you risk lifting your paper. Make sure you always paint white or a very light off-white wherever you're going to decoupage rice paper or a napkin. White allows the colors in your images to look more vibrant. Dark colors will make your images look dark and muddy. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm sealing the paper with Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish to protect it. I'm using this satin finish because I love the shine. The more coats you put on, the deeper the shine becomes. This is one of my favorite varnishes and can be used on all surfaces, not just wood. I'm going to be doing some work on the other 3 panels, and I want to be able to wipe off any mishaps. I'll let that dry for about an hour. This is a texture mat. I'm going to spread cream paste over the design on the mat with a palette knife. After I put it on, I'm scraping off as much of the excess as I can. The paste will stay in all the crevices. When dry, this will look like lace. I'll let this dry overnight. Now that the paste is dry, there is a light film over top of the high spots. I'm going to rub it with an alcohol wipe, and this will remove all of the film. It unmolds super easy and is completely flexible, so you're able to use this for anything. Now I'm going to cut the lace to fit the sections on the bauble. I laid the lace on top of the blank section, and I'm cutting it to fit. Once I have this as a template, I'll cut the other 2 to match. DecoupageNapkins.com has such a great selection of napkins that you can purchase one at a time. They carry many other craft supplies such as rice paper, paint, clay, molds, and a great selection of polyvine products. Over 8,000 products and growing. They are wonderful to work with and will send your order out fast. They offer several automatic discounts when checking out. Subscribe to their newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. They are truly your one-stop shop for craft supplies. Make sure you check them out. I'll be leaving links for all the products I use in my description box below. I'm using tacky glue to attach my lace pieces to the blank sections. I brushed the glue on the back of the lace and attached it to the bauble. And now I'll let this dry for a couple of hours before moving on. I test all the products that I recommend in my videos. I won't recommend anything that I haven't used myself and prefer. If I'm recommending it, you can bet it's a great product. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. I'm going to paint the lace areas with Pentart paint in the color Country Green. This color matches the rice paper perfectly. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I use a lot of Dixie Belle and Pentart paints. These are my absolute favorites. They both go on super smooth and creamy with really good coverage. I rarely, if ever, need a second coat of Pentart, and that goes for the metallic colors as well. After the paint dried, I gave it a coat of heavy-duty wood varnish and let that dry for an hour. I'm making an antiquing medium using some black paint and a glazing medium. I used black paint because there's a lot of black in this rice paper. I put very little paint with about a teaspoon of the glazing medium, and then I added a couple squirts of water to make it a little bit thinner. I'm using a sponge to put it on the very edges of each section to accent them. I moistened my sponge a little bit with water first. This makes the sponge not soak up so much of your antiquing medium. This formula will work for any color paint, so you can get really creative with your antiquing processes. Now I'm going to brush it over the lace areas, making sure to get it in all the cracks and crevices. Once I brush it on, I immediately wipe it off with a soft, dry cloth. It will stay in all the little cracks and crevices, accenting them. It makes all that detail stand out so beautifully, and I'll let that dry for several hours. I'm using DOS clay and a silicone mold to make 3 cute little angels. I put the clay in the mold one at a time and then put my molds in the freezer for about 20 minutes. This makes unmolding your clay so much easier. I'm using tacky glue and attaching the angels to the 3 sections with the lace while the clay is still wet. I'm carefully pressing down the edges to make sure the angels are securely glued to the bauble. You don't want to press too hard and ruin the details of your molded piece. And I'm going to let them dry overnight. The lace sections are a little taller than the rice paper sections, so I'm going to add some small gold cord just to the edge of the lace, right up against the lip. And this will add a pretty finish to the lace sections. I added some craft glue with a toothpick so it would be a small line, and then laid the cord on the glue. I used a Q-tip to wipe off any excess glue on the rice paper, and that'll need to dry for a couple of hours. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. I'm going to glue this beautiful gold tassel to the bottom. Right now you can see the hot glue, but I'm going to be covering that up in just a few minutes. I made some leaves out of my DOS clay, and I'm going to glue them to the top and bottom of this bauble. This will cover all my raw edges at the top and the hot glue at the bottom. I'm gluing them on while the clay is still wet so I can form it around the shape of the bauble. I'm putting 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom, and they will need to dry overnight. All the clay is dry, and now it's time to paint all the cute little angels and leaves gold. I'm using Pentart metallic gold paint, and believe it or not, it's only going to need 1 coat. Normally metallic paints need a primer as well as 2 or 3 coats of paint. The coverage with this is just remarkable. Send me a comment and let me know what type of project you would like to see next. I love designing projects around your requests. Just be patient with me though, I get a lot of them. I'll definitely get to yours. Sometimes it just takes me a little while. I love hearing from all of you and look forward to reading all your comments and requests. So keep them coming. After the gold paint dried, I gave the whole ornament a coat of heavy-duty wood varnish. I'm going to antique the angels and leaves, so I need the surface glossy. I'm using the same black glazing mixture as I did on the lace. I'm brushing it on all the gold painted areas and wiping it off right away with a soft dry cloth. I just love the way antiquing makes all the mold's details show up. It gives such depth and dimension. I have more Christmas videos coming up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. If you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video, click the bell. I let the antiquing dry for a couple of hours and then gave them a coat of the heavy-duty wood varnish to protect it. Now it's time to add a little shimmery beauty to this ornament. I'm using my finger to add some metallic wax rub onto the angels and the leaves. This adds such pretty highlights to all the high areas. First I used aged brass on all the angels and leaves. I am gently rubbing over the top of the clay form so it just adds to the high points. I put some on my finger and then rub it on my thumb so a big glob of product doesn't end up on my piece. Now over top of that, I'm adding white pearl to brighten it up a little bit. Layering your rubs gives a really nice effect. I'm going to make some beautiful black and gold bows for this ornament. I'm using my little bow dabber tool. This little mini bow dabber makes bow making so easy and they turn out perfect. You put a thin cord or wire going vertical between the slots. Then go back and forth with your ribbon from side to side. Once you have all the ribbon you want, you just tie the cord or wire in the center and pull out your perfect bow. The link for this will be in my favorite tools section of my description box below, just in case you'd like to check it out. I use it a lot this time of year with all my Christmas projects. I clipped the tails of all the bows in a dovetail. You fold your ribbon in half and then clip at an angle upwards towards the fold. I made 2 bows for the top and 2 for the bottom. I used my hot glue gun and attached the 2 large bows at the top. I clipped off some of the length of the gold cord. I think it's pretty and adds to the look, so I leave it showing. Then I glued the 2 smaller bows to the bottom and clipped some of the gold cord as well. Don't forget, all of the wonderful products I'm using today can be found at my favorite place for craft supplies, decoupagenapkins.com, and I'll leave you links in my description box below. I put together a playlist of some other tutorials you may enjoy. Click the picture on the right to be taken directly to that playlist. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.